All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the STJ Wrestling Podcast.
Whoop,
My
whoop.
name is a sensational Samhausen, and I am joined this week by Mr. Intimidating Tim. Tim, how are you, buddy?
I am doing good. I just had
Hell yeah.
dinner. I'm chilling. I'm hanging in with my bud.
What'd
Life
you
is
have
good.
for dinner? Tell me about it.
I made a favorite of mine.
Ooh,
Pork tenderloins with a balsamic fig like jam to go on top of them.
damn,
Um,
dude.
then we picked up these little golden potatoes that came with
Yeah,
like a garlic thyme seasoning, and we
hell
threw
yeah.
those in the air fryer. It was pretty good.
Do you remember when we were children and my grandma used to get mad at you because you didn't eat anything?
She did, and in
Yeah,
my
she'd be
defense,
so proud of you.
in my defense, I feel like I ate, enough. I just don't think it was enough for her.
I love Grandma Essie. All of her food tasted exactly the same. Oh
Going all
my
out for
god.
it.
She would be so happy. Oh
Nice.
my god. That's great. We had pineapple teriyaki meatballs and pasta, and Kaylee made like a hot sauce like reduction to put on top of it. It was really good.
Sounds spicy.
It was tasty. She got the meatballs at Trader Joe's, and they were pretty dang good.
Nice.
Yeah, because we have a Trader Joe's by the apartment now, and it's pretty great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Trader Joe's. But anyway, we have a couple of things to talk about.
We do.
This is
A
episode
lot of stuff to
3
catch up on.
of our new show. So we're kicking it off with the fact that me and my wonderful fiance, Kaylee, went to AEW Double or Nothing in New
Hell
York.
yeah.
Oh my god, it was so much fun.
Yeah, so what was the experience like at that like arena? Just like kind of getting there, like
Okay,
vibes and
so
everything.
the show was on the Sunday before Memorial Day. So that morning, my mom drove us to the train station in New Haven. Got on the train, got off at Grand Central, got on the subway. We took the subway to Harlem,
Okay.
Queens area,
Yeah.
and we went to our hotel, which was smack in the middle of Chinatown.
Ooh.
So that was really cool. Checked into the hotel, and then we walked up the street to this like dim sum restaurant, and we got
Nice.
a variety like box of soup dumplings for dinner, and then we got some like Asian iced teas. Mine was green grape like flavored iced tea, and it had like green grape like they weren't like bobas. It was like halfway between a Jello cube and a jelly bean.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
those like came up through the straw, and you could like chew them. And then there were pieces
Yeah.
of actual grape. And Kaylee's was passion fruit, and it had like the little seeds from the middle that you can crunch on and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then we got some delicious shrimp and cheese wontons. They were like crab rangoons. If you replaced a crab with
Ooh.
like chopped up shrimp,
Yeah.
those were delicious. And then like the soup dumplings, it was a variety one. So there was like a beef, a chicken noodle, one that was like pork and this like melon, but it tasted like cucumber.
Oh.
But the
Okay.
color of the dumpling was like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like the young like the deodorant we would use when we were kids. That was like the athlete one, and it was
Yeah.
that green color. It looked like that. But the food was really good, and being in Chinatown was awesome. So we left the dim sum place. Almost every single person in the restaurant was wearing some kind of AEW shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, there was like a guy at the table next to us, and he was wearing an FTR shirt, and his two kids had Willow shirts on. And then like I was wearing an Outrunners t-shirt. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Love
So
that.
then we got in an Uber, and we rode over to the stadium, dropped us off. So the first like hiccup was the drop off point for the Louis Armstrong like tennis stadium that it
Yes,
gave us
where they have
was
the
Citi
big tennis
Field.
thing. Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where the Mets play. That's the
Where the
name.
Mets
That's
play.
the right name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to walk through like the empty Citi Field parking lot to a like bridge that was the train platform. So you had to walk through the train
To the
platform.
Long Island Railroad?
Yes. And then on the other side of it was just this big like bridge. At the bottom of the bridge was just a sea of humanity because the gates weren't open yet. So we snaked our way to the front. And what was weird was the gates said they didn't open till 7:00.
Okay.
Which is also when the 0 hour started.
Oh man.
So we missed like the entrances for the opening match, but like we were seated by the time the bell rang.
Gotcha.
So the opening match of the 0 hour was Divine Dominion in a 5-minute eliminator challenge against Zeta Steel and Viva Van from Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And Divine Dominion won, but it wasn't a squash. Like there were 33 seconds left.
Oh wow.
Then they started beating down Viva Van, Zeta Steel, and Christopher Daniels. And Anna Jay and Ty Conti, TJ came out and made the save and then like laid claim to a tag title shot. Okay. So that was really cool. And then the 0 hour was hosted by Renee Paquette and the debuting for AEW Mick Foley.
Yo, hell yeah.
That was really fucking cool to be there for Mick Foley's AEW debut.
That's awesome.
That was the opener on the 0 hour. And then after that, it rolled into the next 0 hour match, which was a 6-man tag between Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, and Wheeler Yuta on one team, the Death Riders, versus Anthony Bowens, Katsuyori Shibata, and Hook.
Nice.
The Death Riders took the win, if I remember correctly. It has been a hot minute. And it's I find much harder to remember a thing I was at live if I don't have access to a replay. But that match was really good. Hook got like a custom entrance to like this Action Bronson song. So people were like, oh shit, it's the hometown guy. That's really cool. Yeah. They had cool black and white matching ring gear on. And I believe this was Bowen's in-ring debut as a member of the Ops.
Gotcha.
So Bowens, Shibata, and Hook worked really good as a team, but they fell to the Death Riders. And then after that, it rolled into quote-unquote the main event of the 0 hour. It was a 10-man tag team match presented by Vita Coco, the coconut water. And it was Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, QT Marshall, and Big Boom AJ of the Costco guys.
Boom.
Boom and Doom and the Conglomeration versus Shane Taylor Promotions, which was Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, the Infantry, and Anthony Ogogo. Costco guys and his crew, they won.
The Rizzler.
The Rizzler was there. Him and Big Justice threw coconut water all over the top rope at one point. And then the dad from the Costco guys was gushing. He got busted open. Like his chest was just covered in blood.
Oh, man.
So then there was like a backstage thing I saw on TikTok, and it was the Costco guys just doing their usual bit while the dad was still bleeding. He was like, that match gets 5 big booms. And he's got an absolute gusher on his forehead. And then they revealed that the Vita Coco suit, there was like a big Vita Coco like guy at ringside. And that was Kaylee's favorite part, was that there was a giant Vita Coco kind of near the ring. Turned out it was Aaron Solo, who was a member of QT Marshall's like crew, the factory. So that was cool. That was the 0 hour. And then there were like 15-ish minutes left on the rest of the show, like 0 hour. So after that match, it was Mick Foley and Renee Paquette doing a segment where Mick Foley got attacked by MJF.
Okay.
And he said he was
like before everything?
Yeah, before the show kicked off. It was like the last 15 minutes of the 0 hour, or the buy-in, as they call it for Double or Nothing. which had a really cool, like all the graphics were really cool, like subway map and graffiti themed.
Yeah, that's dope.
And as someone who rode the subway for like the third time in his life, it was really relatable for me. So that was a 0 hour. And then the opening match of the show was the I Quit match. Edge and Christian, or Adam Cope and Christian versus FTR in a tag team I Quit match for the tag titles.
Nice. What a way to kick it off.
That was the fucking opener for the show on a stacked card.
Love.
Cope and Christian win the tag titles to open the pay-per-view. There was a table on fire. That was really cool. Stokely and not Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood is the bald one. Cash Wheeler. Inadvertently got put through the table that FTR set on fire.
Yo.
That was pretty crazy. They brought out Spike the Bat. Beth Phoenix returned.
Hey.
She showed up and hit a spot. Dax Harwood finally said I quit because he was locked in a sharpshooter by Christian Cage and a crossface with the spiked bat at the same time. And the Athletic Commission of the state of New York would not allow bleeding. So for some reason, Dax Harwood did not get busted open by a nail bat across his face.
But Big Boom AJ did?
Yeah, he was bleeding in the 0 hour, but I think that was like okay because it quote unquote wasn't televised. It was on YouTube.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the opener was really good. Absolute banger. The crowd sang Cope's entrance music because it's Metalingus.
Yes.
Like his old one he used
awesome.
to use in WWE as well.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then they won the tag belts. If they had lost the match, they would have had to retire as a tag team, which would have been
that was a stipulation.
Terrible. I would have been so sad because it would have made me feel really old because a lot of my wrestlers from growing up have retired this year.
I know.
What, Cena, Styles, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like, it's insane. It's like, fuck, I got old, man. All my heroes is gone.
Oof.
So after that match, it was one of the. So there have been 3 matches rated above 9 stars on Cage Match this year.
Oh, wow.
2 of them we're going to talk about on this episode of the podcast. The first match to be rated above 9 stars on Cage Match was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada in Tanahashi's retirement match at Wrestle Kingdom. And the second above 9-star rated match of 2026 was match number 2 of this show. Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita for the international title.
Hell yeah.
Konosuke Takeshita won, becoming a 2-time AEW international champion. This match was a friggin' banger, bell to bell. Strong style, back and forth. This match was 19 minutes long.
Let's go.
Like, it was bell to bell, an incredible match. Afterwards, the Don Callis family came out and effectively kicked Konosuke out of the group because he defeated Okada. But then his best friend, Kyle Fletcher, returned.
Ooh.
Everybody freaked out. They were like, Protostar! Everybody's yelling. Everybody's hooting and hollering. Kyle Fletcher turned on Konosuke Takeshita.
Ooh.
Yeah. Disbanding Protashita effectively.
Dang.
So Kyle Fletcher seems to be the first challenger lined up for Konosuke Takeshita in his second reign as international champion. This match was amazing. It was such a privilege and an honor to be there live to witness this.
Now, was this their first time against each other, like in AEW, in
AEW, because they were both members of the Don Callis family. So was it at Dynasty? They were in the tag match against the Young Bucks, and they kind of turned on each other. Okay. That was, I think, the starting point to lead to this match. But Kaylee is not a wrestling fan. She went because it was part of a Christmas present for me that we got to go and do this. So Kaylee was like, even not as a wrestling fan, I can understand that this is an important thing that we witnessed. Like, this is a special match that we
Yeah.
watched. And I was like, from our end, me and the people sitting around us, because we were all like chit-chatting and like discussing and spitting ideas off each other about like, it was just a cool live experience. The wrestling was cool. The people sitting around us were like fun to talk to, engaging. No one was like gatekeepy or condescending, anything like that. It was just cool people having a fun time.
Yeah, that's great. That's all you can
So
really
this match was really good. And then the following match was the first match of the women's Owen Hart tournament.
Okay.
It was Athena versus Mina Shirakawa, with Athena moving on to the next round of the tournament.
Okay.
After Okada and Takeshita ended, a wave of testosterone left the arena because almost every single man sitting in the nosebleeds with us got up to go get snacks or merch or use the bathroom, refill a beer. I was like, what the fuck? And Kaylee was like, did everyone really just get up for the women's match? Yeah, that's unfortunately kind of how it goes, which is fucked up. Like, people, for whatever reason, still view these matches as like the break. Like, oh, I can get up. It's just the women's match. Like, dude, fuck you. They're here to put on a show. Watch them. They're great. Like, this match was decent. I think it was just odd that it wasn't like super huge names for AEW to be on the pay-per-view card.
Gotcha.
Like, Athena is never on Dynamite. She's pretty much solely on Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Because she's the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion of all time. Not women's champion. That's across every title. Of all time. Longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor history. Of all time. Of all time. All the time, there is all of it.
Every single minute.
Athena moved on in the tournament. So this was a good match. Mina Shirakawa put up a good fight, but Athena seems like she'll be moving closer to the finals with every round, because I feel she could win this year, and that would, I think, establish her more on Dynamite, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe give more credible challengers to her Ring of Honor title reign, because I think one of the reasons it's gone this long is there's no credible challengers on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, like you'd have to build someone up to believably be able to.
Like, they were doing that with Billy Starks several times, and Billy Starks couldn't beat her. It's like, okay, you don't really have anyone else.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, that's whatever.
Yeah.
And then we follow that up with a no time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley facing Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh. All right.
This match was pretty stiff. It was brutal. It was stiff. Moxley
won. Describes a lot of Moxley's matches.
Yes. So the story with this was that in this year's Blood and Guts match, the conglomeration team won because Kyle O'Reilly submitted Jon Moxley, and Moxley tapped in the pile of broken glass.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then on the Dynamite, the go-home episode of Dynamite, Kyle O'Reilly defeated Jon Moxley again by submission. So this was so Moxley could maybe finally defeat Kyle.
Gotcha.
Because Kyle is 1/3 of the Trios champions with his conglomeration stablemates, Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy. So Kyle O'Reilly was going to be going for an attempt to be 2 belts O'Reilly. He unfortunately submitted to Jon Moxley in this match, so Moxley was finally able to submit the man who submitted him twice. This match was really good. Moxley's entrance is so freaking cool, and Kaylee and I both thought it was really funny that O'Reilly entered the match wearing a JanSport backpack that contained his third of the Trios championships in it.
I love it.
It's funny because Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong also carry them, which is an homage to when Orange Cassidy was international champion. He would carry the title in a JanSport backpack.
Gotcha. It all makes sense now.
And then we followed that up with the opening contest of the men's Owen Hart tournament, which was Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe, which saw Will Ospreay winning and moving on to the semifinals of the tournament, which
As he should.
he will compete in tonight on Dynamite against his former United Empire stablemate Mark Davis
Nice.
in the main event. Yeah, this match was a banger. We were singing along with Ospreay's entrance music, doing the Ospreay, Ospreay, like
Yes.
sing along to the music. Speaking of which, I saw an Ospreay today while I was driving home from work.
Ooh,
And that was really cool.
that's cool.
You know the lake around the corner from my parents' house?
Yeah, where the waterfall leads into.
No, if you like Lake
Oh,
Whitney on the way to
if you're going towards the space.
like the way to St. Rita's.
Yes.
Yeah, over there. There's a nesting platform, and there are a couple ospreys in it when I drove through with Kaylee.
Awesome.
And she said, "Oh, is that an osprey or some kind of enemy? What is it? A Samoa Joe bird?" And I thought that's pretty funny.
She knows the
Yeah,
lingo.
Osprey hit a springboard cutter before Joe even finished entering. That was really cool. And then Joe did his no sell, no look, dodge thing that he does
I love that.
at one point during this match. So Ospreay defeated Joe to move on. This one was really cool. I think this one kind of brought the energy back to the crowd because even though Moxley and Kyle was good, it wasn't fast paced. That one was kind of a slower, kind of a slugfest.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, kind of brought the energy back, and it maintained for the rest of the night.
That's good. Yeah, you definitely need kind of the ebb and flow to bring people back up.
Yeah, it can't all be bangers. It's got to. Well, they all can be bangers, but it can't all be just boom, boom, boom. And then they followed it up with the next match in the men's Owen Hart tournament, which was Swerve Strickland versus Bandito.
Ooh.
As of now, as of recording, this is my match of the year.
Okay.
Strickland versus Bandito was fucking amazing.
Big fan of it.
Strickland hit a stalling house call off of Bandito's shoulders. So Bandito was standing just on his two legs, normal, just standing there, ready to take a move. And he Irish whipped Swerve up against the ropes. Swerve bounced off the ropes, jumped, stood on Bandito's shoulders, just normal, to his full height, leapt off his shoulders, and then kicked him in the back of the head.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit. And then Bandito hit a 21 plex from Swerve being fully prone on the mat instead of doubled over.
Yeah.
And then Bandito did an off the apron crossbody onto Swerve, who was on a steel chair, kind of in homage to Brody King, his tag team partner, Brodito.
Yeah. Brodito.
I don't know if anything came out official, but it did look like Bandito got injured in this match, which is unfortunate. But this was one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen live.
Nice.
And Strickland got the win. He moved on in the tournament. He's got Brody King in the semifinals. So the finals of the men's and women's Owen Hart tournaments are at Forbidden Door.
Okay.
I think we're getting a rematch of the main event from the time you came in the Hurricane to watch it at my parents' house, which is Ospreay versus Swerve.
Sick.
I think that's going to be this year's finals, and then the winner gets the title shot at All In.
Gotcha.
So I think it'll either, if MJF is still champ at that point, we'll get, I believe, Ospreay MJF in Wembley Stadium.
That'll be huge, dude.
And if Ospreay won the belt in Wembley, holy fuck.
Dude, elite pop.
Haha. Elite, he said it. That's the name of the company.
Yeah. That's awesome though. Match if you think it's the match of the year for your
my match of the year so far.
I love
someone
that.
came to visit. Otis is in the room for the recording.
Ooh, special
Hi, buddy.
guest.
Did you hear your Uncle Tim? Otis is my cat, not the wrestler. He didn't just walk in my home.
Went to your live.
And then the Swerve and Bandito got followed by the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's World Title, which was the current champion, Toxic Tekla. I think I got that right. But she's defending against 3 former women's champions in Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. Hikaru Shida and Statlander turned on each other in this match, beat the tar out of each other.
Yeah.
Tekla retained. Tekla or Tekla? However you say it. She retained. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
I hate to admit I don't remember much from this match aside from Hikaru Shida turning on Statlander, which led to that lights out street fight in Philly last week.
Gotcha.
Because the next thing up was one of the greatest spectacles I have ever witnessed as a professional wrestling fan, and that was this year's Stadium Stampede match.
Stadium Stampede.
Which was the biggest ever. And these are the teams.
Let's hear him.
Chris Jericho with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, and then Kenny Omega, Jungle Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks. Of course, accompanied to the ring by Mr. MVP.
Of course.
And that team won. They defeated the team of Ricochet, Bishop Kaun, Toa Leona, and then the Don Callis families, Mark Davis and Andrade El Idolo, then the Dogs, Clark Connor and David Finlay.
Yo.
So that's what? 7 on 7? Jericho, Lashley, Benjamin.
Yeah, 7.
7 on 7.
Dude, that's
as
nuts.
we know is tradition with an AEW show. If Chris Jericho is on the card, you sing Judas when he comes to the ring. They did an entrance for the entrance, and it was like a pre-recorded video package of like this heist crew getting put together, and it was Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, and the Elite coming together for this job. And I think it was supposed to be a tribute to the film Ocean's 11. If it wasn't Ocean's 11, it was Reservoir Dogs. But it was really cool. Jericho and his crew wrestled the whole match in like suits and ties.
That's great.
And then Ricochet, Bishop Kaun, and Toa Leona were wearing like full baseball player outfits, like pinstripe pants, baseball jersey, shoes, but they were the Akatsuki from Naruto.
Okay.
They were all black with like red little like storm clouds on it.
Yeah.
For you anime fans and such, and people who have never seen Naruto, the Akatsuki was like a big group of villains that showed up, and they're terrorists basically, and they're all from the different villages of Naruto's like lore, but they've been excommunicated, so they're like shinobi without a village, basically.
Yeah.
But they all have like almost god level powers. So that was pretty cool. This match was insane, and that is an understatement. This show took place at the Louis Armstrong Tennis Stadium. It is part of a compound that also has the Arthur Ashe, where the AEW Grand Slam specials emanate from, and then the Billie Jean King Tennis Academy is also there.
Where tennis takes place.
Where tennis happens. But they were doing wrestling at the place where the tennis goes. So there was a part where Jericho and Ricochet wrestled backstage, and Jericho turned on the like, it's a baseball pitching machine, but it was shooting tennis balls to practice like hitting tennis balls.
Yeah.
And they were just like whipping out of that thing and hitting a garage door that Ricochet was like pinned up against. It was loud. It was fucking loud. And then Jericho opened a door, and on the other side of that door was Luther the Butler.
Oh,
Tony Storm's butler,
Tony
Luther.
Storm's butler.
Who it was, I believe, Chris Jericho's first opponent ever in a wrestling match.
That's pretty cool.
So Luther was there in his butler outfit, and he gave Chris Jericho like a 5-foot tall tennis racket. Just a big old giant tennis racket, and he was whacking Ricochet with it.
Nice.
It's pretty great. You know how Andrade El Idolo does that bit where he like sees Pretty Woman at ringside and goes take a picture with her?
Yes, of
He
course.
sees Pretty Woman at ringside and goes takes a picture with her. But then it turns out to be Luchasaurus in a wig.
Oh.
And Luchasaurus poison mists him. And then there was a moment where Clark Connors got super kicked by the Young Bucks onto the up escalator to the third floor seating section where Kaylee and I were sat. Kaylee said, I would like to go get a snack and use the restroom during this match. Loud noises kind of bother her, so she didn't want to be in the seats for this one. And boy, was that a mistake, because Kaylee went to get me a t-shirt. The merch stand she was about to walk up to had the Young Bucks and the Dogs beating the piss out of each other in it. So she went the other way. Go get a big soft pretzel and a drink. And the crowd followed. So she hid in a staircase. And if that's not true love, I don't know what is, because she did it for me.
That's awesome.
I am so appreciative she came to this with me. I know it's not her thing, but it was I had fun. She tolerated it. She said she really enjoyed Swerve and Bandito, which is selfishly why it's probably my match of the year. Stadium Stampede was really cool.
It's a good memory, you guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the other crazy shit that happened in this match. At one point, Clark Connors got put in a shopping cart and then a trash can over his head. And the shopping cart was pushed down the entrance ramp into a super kick from the Young Bucks. At one point, they did a fucking Hands Across America thing where someone was in a submission hold and then the heel guy grabbed the top rope to get the extra leverage. And then every other single person on the heel team grabbed his hand and they formed a big chain. Mark Davis and Jack Perry were fighting out in the loading dock, and Mark Davis found a golf cart. And if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, it was the golf cart that's been featured in every other Stadium Stampede match. The one Sammy Guevara got run over by Matt Hardy driving.
Oh, yes.
And then the one I think Hangman and the crew rode onto the field with in the first one. So he's looking at it, and there's a handwritten note stuck to the seat of the golf cart with a knife in it. And it's like, watch out, jackass. Mark Davis is looking around, and you hear it. You hear, bump, bump. And it's the Jurassic Express. The bus.
It's coming for him.
The Jurassic Express bus is driving high speeds right at Mark Davis, who dodges out of the way, and it smashes into the golf cart. The golf cart crumples. That was under the section we were sitting in.
So, like, were you watching it from the
it was on the Tron,
like Jumbotron, or did you spin around to look outside?
How the seats were set up, you couldn't see it where we were, but it was like that's where the loading dock was. Like we walked by it to get to the seats. So anything that happened in a different area that wasn't the ring was playing on screens. The Jurassic Express is a converted school bus that Luchasaurus and Jack Perry drive around to different episodes of Dynamite and Collision, what have you. When it hit the golf cart, it triggered the app that New York State has to warn people of car accidents, that they might need to reroute traffic, that there was a school bus involved in a wreck near the Louis Armstrong.
That is iconic.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, there was also a little red Dust Devil vacuum that was used in the match, and someone got the dust chamber of the vacuum broke over their head.
Whoa. Okay.
Chris Jericho produced what you thought was a bag of thumbtacks, but it was just tennis balls.
Psych.
And then there was a food fight in the catering that Tommy Invincible had a cameo in.
It's fun.
And then a bunch of tables, chairs, what have you. Chris Jericho and his guys won after like every single finisher, and then a 7-way super kick got hit on Bishop Khan.
Love that.
And then after his team won, Jericho celebrated the victory by putting himself through a table, just like Sabu would have done.
Oh, I love that.
Good for you, Chris Jericho. And then we move on to the final match of the evening, which was MJF versus Darby Allin, title versus hair, which saw MJF regaining the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, bringing his total reigns to 3 before the age of 30.
And it's tied for most, or has someone had 4 reigns?
I think it's tied for most.
That is very exciting.
If MJF did not win, Darby was going to shave him bald. Darby Allin held the title for about 42 days. I believe he had the most title defenses of a reign as world champion in AEW history.
That is insane. Good for him.
Darby hit an insane coffin drop off the top of the entrance ramp through a table. But MJF ultimately came out on top, kept his hair, and he kept the title.
There you go.
All in all, AEW Double or Nothing 2026 was the greatest experience I have ever had at a live wrestling show.
That's awesome.
It was so fucking good. Holy shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So I believe the next pay-per-view for AEW is Forbidden Door.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then AEW also announced a new pay-per-view called Redemption.
Yeah, that's right.
Which will be in Vancouver. That'll be the pay-per-view after Forbidden Door. I've watched every single Forbidden Door since the inception of the pay-per-view. So continue the trend this year.
Nice.
And watch Forbidden Door. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views they do. For those of you who do not know, might be new to AEW or new to the podcast, Forbidden Door is a crossover show between AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and Stardom, and then Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Those are like the 5 companies that kind of work together to cross-promote. So one thing that comes up is if a wrestler had any relationship to AAA, they could not appear on the show because of New Japan's working relationship with CMLL. But now that WWE has acquired AAA, I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore.
Yeah.
So Andrade could appear at this year's Forbidden Door.
Exciting.
Yeah. So I believe we're going to get Swerve versus Ospreay in a rematch of the main event from 2 years ago at this year's Forbidden Door in the Owen Hart tournament. We'll also get the finals of the women's Owen Hart tournament. And so for matches, that's about all we've got. Typically, the AEW World Championship is defended against a person from New Japan, and the IWGP belt is defended against someone from AEW. One of my favorite years that they did it was during one of MJF's first title reigns. It was MJF versus Tanahashi, MJF. No, it was MJF and Tanahashi. MJF retained, and then that was also the year Jon Moxley, an AEW superstar. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm mixing things up. MJF versus Tanahashi was one year, and then a different year, Jon Moxley entered the pay-per-view as IWGP champion and defended against Naito, who's no longer with New Japan. But Naito brought the belt back to New Japan at that pay-per-view. Because I think the thing where I just said MJF defended against Tanahashi was wrong, and it was MJF versus Naito. I'm not going to look it up. I'll correct you in the comments.
I trust your knowledge.
Because the one you drove to my parents' house in the Hurricane for was the Swerve and Ospreay one, and everybody's kind of like, well, Ospreay isn't a Forbidden Door. This doesn't make any sense. And it was only his like second month in the company, so they're like, no, it counts. And that one had originally was supposed to have MJF versus Roosh, but because Roosh was working with AAA at some point, they wouldn't book him on the card. So it was MJF versus Henchicero on that pay-per-view.
Gotcha.
And the crew came over. My cousin was there, and I forgot to take off the following Monday. I had to be into work at 5, and the pay-per-view ended at 1:30.
That is harsh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But, hey, that was some of the cool wrestling we're going to talk about on this episode. The next cool wrestling we're going to talk about is the AAA show from last Saturday.
Yes.
Do you remember the name of it?
I think it was Noche de los Grandes, right?
I think that just means the grand night, like the great night or something.
Like Night of the Grandes. Grandes is a proper noun. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell. So this was a quote unquote like PLE for them because it had a title.
Yes.
I feel like it was kind of like how the takeovers used to be, where it was just an episode of NXT, but it had a special like showcase thing going on.
Yeah, because there was only 4 matches,
It was a night one.
Yeah, and it was broadcast fully on YouTube, which is pretty sick.
And that is how you watch AAA in the U.S.
Yeah, maybe they'll get a TV deal. I guess I feel like I heard people saying that's why Triple Mania had a night in Vegas is because they were going to try to shop it around to get a TV deal.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I tuned into this. Missed the first 2 matches because I was watching the NBA Conference Finals, Game 7 for the Spurs versus the Thunder, and that was exciting. So once that wrapped, I flipped over to this and I caught Psycho Clown's entrance. He and Pagano were going off against the War Raiders, and couldn't figure out. I was watching it on a TV and I couldn't figure out YouTube how it works. I was like, I don't know if I can scrub back or not, so I'll just watch from here. And that was pretty exciting. The War Raiders ended up getting the titles off of them, which is pretty exciting because I think that means that they've gotten the NXT tag titles, like the Raw and SmackDown titles, and the Ring of Honor titles, and now the AAA tag titles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're the second ever tag team to win tag titles in 5 different promotions.
That is very exciting.
The first was FTR.
Yeah.
They also have been AEW tag champs, so they've got
a bit of a leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they've also been New Japan tag champs.
Oh wow.
Because one of the first Forbidden Doors, it was a triple threat, winner take all, and it was like FTR, Roppongi Vice, and the Young Bucks, I want to say, but whoever it was. Oh, that's crazy. I think Kevin Knight just joined the Don Callis family.
Gotcha.
I have Dynamite on in the background.
Oh.
I watched this show from the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe you can recap the first 2 matches.
The opener was for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. It was Laredo Kid, the champion. I think they said he held that belt for over 500 days.
That's pretty insane.
He defended against Ray Phoenix, the younger brother of Penta. Ray Phoenix won the Cruiserweight title after hitting a Mexican muscle buster.
Ooh. So
Ray Phoenix is AAA Cruiserweight champion. The second match of the night was El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. defending his AAA Latin American Championship against El Hijo de Vikingo.
2 El Hijos. El Hijos.
2 sons. Dos sons. You might remember Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. from the NXT Halloween Havoc that we watched at my parents' house because I said, Tim, my mom said that if you ask your mom, she could stay and watch wrestling, but only if we behave.
Hell yeah.
So, for those of you who are new to the show, Tim and I have been best friends. We met when we were 5. I'm 30. He's 29. Like, is this time of the year we're the same age?
No. I turned 30
You're still 29?
in September. Yeah, and then we'll have
enjoy it while it lasts, friend.
Very foreboding.
But yeah, Tim and I have known each other for a long time. We've been best friends longer than his youngest brother has been alive.
Yes.
And that's something I like to remind Luke of constantly. Shout out to Luke. I don't know if you listen. Anyway, so Phoenix won the Cruiserweight. El Hijo de Vikingo ends up winning the Latin American title off of Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. This match featured interference from Omos. Galeno Del Mar, I think is his name. It's Dr. Wagner's other son, the brother.
Gotcha.
And then Mini Vikingo.
Wow, a lot of interference.
Yep. So the heel Hijo de Vikingo won the title. Vikingo is in my top 10 wrestlers of all time. I know some people aren't into the flippy shit. Not me. I love the flippy shit.
He loves it.
It's my fucking favorite.
He said, "Give me those flips."
And then after that match, we were at the point where you started watching after the basketball game.
After the
which was
basketball.
The AAA tag titles, Pagano and Psycho Clown versus the War Raiders. Now, unfortunately, this was the worst match of the show.
Yeah, it was a bit
this
of
match sucked.
Bit of a slow down.
Bit of a snoozer.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of, big men power type stuff, but it was, I guess you don't want to overshine what's to come, but yeah, it was also, I was a little freaked out after the match because Psycho Clown took his mask off and underneath was another mask that made it look like the skin on his face had gotten like chemically burned or peeled off.
Oh yeah, that's he's got like it's like breakaway pants, but his lucha mask.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's done that a couple times, and sometimes the face underneath is like themed.
It was a little bit scary for me.
Do you remember the AAA show they did around Christmas? Because Vikingo entered and his big helmet and jacket that he wears, the helmet was the Grinch head and the jacket was like a Santa suit. It was really good. But sometimes when the Psycho Clown peels the top layer of his mask off, it's like blue or like it's an alien face or something.
Blue.
I saw a Psycho Clown live in Hartford. The first time GCW ever came through, myself, my dad, and my ex-girlfriend went to see it. And the main event was Nick Gage versus Psycho Clown in a death match. And my dad remembers it because Psycho Clown and Nick Gage wrestled through the crowd. Psycho Clown took just like the normal trash can from the venue and dumped the trash out and then bounced the Rubbermaid off of Nick Gage's head. But then after the show wrapped, Psycho Clown, still in his mask and ring gear, came out and swept up all the garbage back into the trash can.
That's a good guy. He's like, hey, sorry about this mess. I'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that show also had Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne versus Jack Cartwheel and Gringo Loco for the tag title. That was freaking awesome.
That's freaking lit.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there. The War Raiders won the tag belts. So if you're keeping track at home, we said there were 4 matches on this card. 3 of them were title matches. 3 of them were title changes.
Yeah.
The Undertaker, WWE Hall of Famer and legend, is the general manager of AAA. Not the general manager, but he like books all the matches. Rey Mysterio is the general manager.
Yes.
Undertaker books all the matches. So people were saying this is like his grand reset that he wants to do with the company leading into Triple Mania, which night 1 they announced is going to be in Las Vegas, which is on September 11th. Never forget. And then night 2 is in Mexico. Feels weird, but we're doing it in Vegas. Gotta say.
Man, they got a hard on for that place.
You got a fucking boner for Las Vegas, TKO.
They're like, oh, casino?
Oh, my boner. Oh, my cock. So yeah, the 3 titles that were on the line all changed hands. 2 of the 3 titles went to WWE guys because WWE continues to take belts from other companies and put it on their wrestlers, but never vice versa.
Yeah.
I get it is to draw eyes to the product by using talents established in the United States that we know to watch this product that's from outside of the country. I don't care. I don't want the War Raiders to be the AAA tag champs. I don't want Rey Fenix to be the Cruiserweight champion. Use their guys. Or fucking put the Intercontinental title or the US title on Laredo or Vikingo or something just to even it out.
Right. Like
the relationship
has held the AAA. Is it the world title for AAA?
That's their world title.
Like he's held it. The last time he defended it was in March. Like
Against Dom since
show.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No, he defended it on an episode of Raw a couple weeks ago against Grande.
Okay.
Against
My
the
apologies.
spoilers, the OG
The OG Grande.
Grande on an episode of Raw
Like,
to
come
help
on.
promote the main event of this show.
Yeah.
First time ever the AAA Mega Championship was defended on an episode of Monday Night Raw, but that belt has already been defended on an episode of AEW Dynamite
Ooh.
when Kenny Omega held it.
Oh.
It's crazy that just like 2 years ago, AAA was all over Dynamite.
I know. It's like so much can change so quickly.
Like Kenny Omega has been Mega Champion. The Latin American belt was held by QT Marshall. Jeff Jarrett was the biggest heel of that company alongside Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh for a while.
Yeah.
And then fucking Sammy Guevara and Ty Conte were mixed tag champs, which are currently held by Iguana and Lola Vice.
That's crazy.
It's wild that how quickly, like you said, everything can change. But we're going to get into the main event of night one.
Hell
And
yes.
that is, why don't you tell the people, Tim? Hit
Okay.
it.
So it is a stipulation match featuring the original El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano, also known as El Grande Americano 2. And the stipulation is that the loser has to unmask, which is a big thing in lucha, like wrestling, lucha history. Like the, it's you're not supposed to know who's under the mask for lucha, concealing their identity and everything. So like losing your mask, you're pretty much like killing off the character permanently, right?
Oh, yeah. Until like a junior comes along or someone else inherits it. But the
Yeah,
mask is sacred. It is like the strongest thing to a
yeah,
lucha's character.
right. So yeah, loser will have to take off their mask. And there's so much history behind this match, like it would be impossible to succinctly cover it. But the general idea is that you had this character called El Grande Americano who showed up, and he was billed as like this, like world famous for like centuries or decades lucha wrestler that had. Did they say that he like Chad Gable had trained underneath him? When Chad like
Yeah,
was
he
for a
was
while.
trying to teach Chad Gable the way of the luchador
Yeah,
during Gable's feud with like Dragon Lee and Mysterio.
yeah, to try to teach him how to beat all these famous luchas. So El Gran
Yes,
Americano shows up. Nobody knows who it is.
but
Nobody
you
knows
can
who's under the
tell.
mask. Yeah. And has a few matches, and then kind of goes away for a little bit, and comes back, and it's still El Grande Americano, but he looks a little different. So you're like, what is this? What's going on? Why are we here? What's going on?
Who are you two?
And then it turns out that this was a second iteration of El Grande Americano, and the original El Grande Americano showed up again and is like, "Hey,
Wanting his mask back.
you took my identity, you took my mask, you took everything, basically." Both of them have two lucha, like kind of henchmen followers. The ones following original El Grande Americano, think it's what
Oh,
Bruto and Cleto.
Julian. It's the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius, but it
Yeah,
was like
Bruto and Cleto.
Bruto and Julian. Julian?
Yeah,
I think they
I
said it
think
with like an
yeah,
accent.
yeah. And then the two that were buddied up with El Grande Americano version 2.0 were Rayo and Bravo.
And that is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Yes, allegedly, allegedly.
Yeah, okay.
And what's even crazier about this is that when original El Grande Americano showed up, he was billed as a heel, because he was going up against all these other. There weren't really any heel lucha wrestlers outside of Dom in like WWE.
Yeah,
So he was
Penta
a
is a
heel.
face.
Yeah. So he was a heel, and then when version 2.0 came around, it was more or less played off as like, this is the same guy, right? Like no one's gonna question this. Like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But then when the two of them started feuding, it got so interesting because the new Grande Americano in Raw was being presented as a heel. Original was being presented as a face, because if you think about it, this guy came along and stole the Original's identity. He's the bad guy. Original's the good guy. But in AAA, it was completely reversed. The original El Grande Americano was seen as a heel because he was very much an Americanized caricature, like, of lucha.
Also felt kind of racist at times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Like,
Billy
I
him
don't
from
think
the Gulf of America was wild.
right. So very much like a haha, like, mockery. As the original one. 2.0, however, showed up in AAA and fully embraced Mexican culture. Original would speak in broken Spanglish. Version 2.0, basically fluent, I want to say, like cutting
Yes.
promos fully in Spanish, like just going headfirst into like the Mexican culture. Because of that, he was so loved by the like audience and everyone. Literally rose him to like a pope level status. Like, people were like handing him like their children to like kiss and hold every
That's a
time that he
thing
would
in
come out.
Mexico. Like, if you're the
Yeah.
hero, you're the
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah. So they are having a lot of like encounters and beef and like, you stole my identity, this versus that and all that. And it's building towards this, they're eventually going to face off against each other. There's got to be this stipulation. It's probably going to be mask v mask. Um, so they finally build up to this match, and they put another stipulation in place where they are not allowed to lay hands on each other in Mexico. Otherwise, whoever initiates it will immediately be unmasked and the match is off. So they implemented this stipulation, I think, like a month or so before this match. So you're thinking like, okay, this is like how's this not gonna go stale right away? And they did have some matches with like Rayo and Bravo against like Original or like stuff like that. And also due to the stipulation, they were able to lay hands outside of Mexico. So you saw a lot of matches where it was like the trio versus the trio on Raw, to kind of keep interest high. Um, in addition to all of this, is she a ringside announcer? Andrea, is that her name?
So she was like the backstage interviewer, like Kathy Kelly does.
Yeah. She was, like in real life, dating El Grande Americano 2.0. Um, I don't know if they were engaged or anything, but they definitely had a relationship. And original El Grande Americano, when he signed the contract for Mask v Mask, one of the stipulations that he snuck into the contract was that she would be fired effective immediately from AAA. So it was this very emotional kind of like send off, like goodbye, where like El Grande 2.0 is like, I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this for like the Mexican culture. Like, I'm doing this for, you know, all these people that are supporting him basically. And that generated a lot of additional heat because then original Grande Americano was sort of able to flaunt, his El Grande Americano 2.0's girlfriend, to build even more heat, which led to, I think it was maybe the Go Home show. The two of them just it reached a tipping point, and they just both started wailing on each other. And Rey Mysterio came out and he was like, "Well," because he's the general manager, he says, "Well, since you both, hit each other simultaneously, like I guess the stipulation like doesn't go into effect, so like the match is still on." Which I thought was a pretty creative way to kind of keep it fresh. So all this is happening like through AAA. Outside of all of this, I think maybe a week and a half before the Mask v Mask match, a police report came out. Did you see anything about this? Read anything about
Oh
it?
yeah, that
Yeah.
the
So
the
allegedly,
man with the
yeah, the man playing El Grande Americano 2.0, was bailed out from a Florida jail for a like violence charge, and people are like, "Hold on, like, is this real? Like, what's going on here?" And it seems like he had gotten into a physical altercation with another man, because the man was asking him to stop being like immodest in public. And people are like, okay, like we need to dig into this further. Like, there's got to be something more going on. And it turns out that he was with Andrea in an elevator, I believe. And they were like either making out or, just being affectionate. And a guy had gotten into the elevator, had seen them. The guy got off the elevator, and as the elevator doors are closing, he says to El Grande Americano 2.0, he says, "Keep your girl in line, otherwise I'm going to call ICE on her." And people believe that he had used a racial slur during that. So
Oof.
after that comes out, as the doors are closing, a very cowardice way to hurl an insult as like elevator doors are closing. As the
Yeah.
doors are closing, Grande Americano like stops him from closing, gets out, starts beating the shit out of the guy. I think very justified.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
hell
there's
yeah.
no protection for hate
Hey,
speech.
hey,
Um,
say it one time with me, buddy. Fuck ICE.
fuck guys,
Fuck
Birdie King
ICE,
style.
dude.
So all of this comes to light, and people are like, "Holy shit! He just went from being like a national hero in Mexico to being like a mythical god figure." Like,
Mexico's favorite son.
like there's no way this guy could get more popular. Like, literally it's like everyone in Mexico probably knows him. Everyone's cheering for him at the show. Like, it is going to be so exciting when this match happens to hear the pop that he gets coming out. So this is all just the setup for the match. We haven't
We
even
haven't even
dove into
talked
the
about it
match yet.
yet.
Yeah. So the match happens, and they both get entrances from like mariachi style bands. So original comes out first, and the mariachi band
Food
is
to high
rep-
heavens.
yeah, lots of heat. Mariachi band is wearing like all black and all red to kind of match his ring gear and his mask style. Um, and lots of booze. He's posing, doing his thing and everything. They show backstage view of Grande Americano 2.0, and he has a leather kind of like cowboy jacket with like tassels. And on the back it says "Por Mexico," like for Mexico. Um,
Yeah.
and the crowd's getting ready. They're like, "Holy shit, it's happening!" Mariachi band again to welcome him out, sing his theme song. They're wearing all white. Looks very classy, very like hero, like angel type, like vision.
It was giving Undertaker versus Michaels with the black and white.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, holy shit. I had two White Claws today, and now everything is making sense.
It's
Holy
all
shit.
locking in now.
And I am locked the fuck in. This was a Michaels and Undertaker, dude.
Dude, you clocked it.
Dude.
And Undertaker is like putting together these match cards. Maybe there's some truth there.
Thanks, Mark.
So, Mariachi band playing his entrance, singing along. He comes out. I think that this probably dwarfed any pop from like the most recent Mania, like by far.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Mania was ass.
the freaking roof blew off of this building. It was insane. It was, oh my gosh, he was coming out, he's high-fiving everyone, like people like fainting over their worshipness of this guy. I'm exaggerating it a bit, but
No,
um comes out,
probably not.
true hero's entrance, like really milking it all. And Mariachi band follows him in. They're doing the introductions and everything. And Original grabs one of the mariachi guys' guitars, and just bashes 2.0 over the head with it, and the match starts. And it's like, for a grudge match, like obviously you're gonna expect certain things, but just you love to see it just start off with like just such a bang. It was amazing. Um, they are going at it, and pretty early on, Original starts to rip like El Grande 2.0's mask kind of around like the eye socket hole. So it kind of tears off a little. You can see some of his hair. You can see some of his, maybe like, I don't know, like an eighth of his like face above his eye. Which I don't think I've seen a mask v mask like match like this before. But kind of that visual and that tactic of, like this is truly what they're fighting over, is like each other's identities. Like one of them gets to keep it, one of them gets to lose it, and kind of seeing that
Yeah.
visualized and manifested through like a decaying, destroyed mask was really, I don't know. I thought it was pretty powerful. I was like, yo, this is sick. Um,
Dude, I'm so proud of you. Hell yeah.
I
I
just like analyzing stuff. It's fun.
just like it.
There were so many just awesome spots and like awesome moments. Like
Dude, the
the
desk
match is
chairs.
the match is literally free on YouTube. Like, go watch it. Like,
Oh,
it's
wait,
incredible.
continue. You know how I
Yeah.
mentioned the 3 matches of 2026 rated over 9 stars?
Yes.
This is number 3.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Mask versus Mask.
Yeah, well deserved. One thing I really enjoyed is there was a part where like they brought out a table and set it up, and it was just a plain table. There's no Slim Jim logos. It was pretty nice to see.
That was one of the best parts.
Yeah. Um, so they're trading moves and everything. They're busting each other open. Um, the Creed brothers, Lucha version, and Ryo and Bravo, came out to interfere and make saves and stuff. And they fought back up the ramp, the four of them. And I think Bravo it was climbed up to. It was pretty high up. It was like
Oh,
level with the
the
top of
seating
the
section.
yeah, the seating section, but it was like maybe like a 15-20 foot drop off. Like the seating section was kind of level with the very top of the entrance, like
Yeah.
display board and all that. And did like a dive onto the Creed brothers to like take everyone out. So that was exciting. They had an interaction with a blind comedian. I don't remember his name, but I think original El Grande had uh, like antagonized him a bunch throughout the like build for this match. So then he was sitting ringside. Original went over and was shaking him up again, and this guy just started beating him up with his walking stick, which is pretty dope. Um, they had another moment where I think El Grande 2.0 was down, and Original was going to hit him with something, and someone rolled into the ring with a Grande Americano mask on and bashed Original with a guitar, and then unmasked themselves. And I don't think I remember their name. Do you remember who that was?
The one, the only,
Mhm.
one of my fiance's favorite wrestlers, the Exotico,
Exotica.
Pimpinella
Noah.
Escarlata, the
Ooh.
Scarlet Pimpinelle, if you will.
All right.
Basically a wrestling drag queen.
I loved it. It was really cool.
Pimpinella used to be on like Lucha Underground back in the day. That's how I know her. She was great. I love
That's
Pimpy.
awesome. That's awesome.
Pimpy!
Yeah, got a huge reaction as well.
Oh, dude, I popped.
um, then there was a point where Original had Grande 2.0 kind of tied up in the ropes, like kind of pulling back on the neck and on the spine. Um, and 2.0 looked like he was ready to tap. And who would emerge from the crowd but Andrea herself showing up
his,
to give him
his,
that
his boo.
his muse, you could say,
Yes.
um, to help him win with the power of love. uh,
Mm. That's
and
the power of love.
hell yeah. Original like saw her and like ran over and he was like, you got fired, you're not supposed to be here. And boom, she whips out ringside seat tickets that she had bought. So
Paid
she's like,
for.
I can't be here. Haha.
I paid
So
money.
that distraction, that little moral boost, helped El Grande Americano 2.0. And I gotta say, Original got busted open pretty badly. I think
Oh,
there's
he
like
was gushing.
yeah, and he also had his mask kind of torn up a little, so you could kind of get a few sneak peeks in there. I think he had gotten his head bashed on the
It
steel
was
steps.
our
Yeah,
truth.
it was pretty crazy. Um, and there were so many near falls into this as well. Like I kind of figured version 2.0 would win, but there were still so many moments where I was like, no way, they're not going to do this, are they? Um, it was insane.
It was
But
such a
then
good match.
yeah, Original ended up getting the victory. He really pushed through like a leg, um, you know, uh, some leg work that Original had put on him, and he pushed through to run the ropes and deliver like some kind of like headbutt shoulder dive thing that he uses as his finisher, I guess. And dude, when that 3 count hit, you thought the entrance was loud. You thought that people went crazy when he showed up, dude. When he won, like again, like words can't do it justice. I wish I was a poet. They should have sent poets to for this, because the freaking crowd went insane. Like again, it's free to watch on YouTube. You can just pull it up. I can just pull
You
this up
can
like, on the
just look it up,
dashboard.
Brett. Turn
Yeah,
our show off. Put that one on.
literally go watch it.
We're on YouTube
Um,
too. We're next to it.
it was insane. It was so incredible. And then they had a really nice moment afterwards where Original unmasked himself, and it was Chad Gable
What?
the whole time. Yeah, he had his family there.
Not the slightest clue.
He was extremely bloody as well. He was a
Oh,
mess,
he
dude.
was busted open.
Yeah.
It
Um,
was cool.
and he introduced himself to the Mexican audience because, again, kind of a thing in lucha when you are unmasked, it's assumed that no one knows who you are underneath. So now you're introducing yourself for the first time to this entire audience. He says, my name is Chad Gable. I'm from Minneapolis. Shout out Minnesota. Shout out Vikings.
Oh, I
Um,
meant to bring it up earlier. Did you see AEW's doing a special show at the Twins Stadium?
Dash to the ballpark. That'll be sick.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad Gable says, I may be the original El Grande, but going forward, you are the only El Grande Americano. Um, and I gotta say as well, like he went from like being called an asshole, like getting insane. He like the entire stadium booing him. Like after he unmasked and kind of gave El Grande Americano his flowers, gave him his mask, said, I I'm not done in AAA. Like I will return. Walked off with his family. Dude, stadium was cheering him. It was like that's like the sign that you did like everything perfectly when it came to booking a match is when you're able to get an entire arena to go from like pure vitriol hating a man to cheering for him on his way out. Like it was incredible. It was incredible. And
It was
then
a really good show.
yeah, El Grande, the victor, got to share center stage with his girl, and with his two buds, and it was just perfect. Could not have asked for more. It was like a beefy, like 30-plus minute match as well. Like
Yeah, it was long.
it was long, but also would watch it again in a heartbeat. Like
Oh, I
easy,
did.
easily, yeah. So again, just go watch it. There's so much build to it that hopefully we gave a good summary of. I feel like every
Well,
time something new developed, I explained it to Taylor, and I was like, "So this is
yeah.
where we're at, and this is what's happening." And it was just, it was perfect, which you rarely get perfect, but it was perfect.
The current like state WWE is in, this has been one of the best things they've put out in a long time.
Exactly. And what is so
Dude,
incredible about it is that the two people, like in this match, like they're not main eventers.
they're
Like
below mid card.
right from like WWE's perspective, like they were nowhere on like that radar. Like they're not competing for titles. They were either side characters or in factions or groups that weren't really given like the main spotlight. Like they were either put up during commercials or they were just support guys for like a main eventer. And to see both of them be able to take this like organic like like build that everyone is giving them support for and put on like a 5-star match like this and kind
I
of like
think
prove themselves you just love to see it. Like this is what it's all about, dude.
I think they've established themselves as main event players.
For sure, for sure.
Speaking of, I believe Grande 2.0 has the main event at Triple Mania. He won the Rey de Reyes, which is you
Right,
get a title shot against the Mega Champion.
right.
And do you know what the prize is for winning the Rey de Reyes?
You get a sick ass scepter.
A fucking sword.
Let's go, dude. Tell Drew
Gr-
McIntyre to get his ass down there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Imagine
Yeah,
if Drew walked out with 2 swords.
two swords. Two swords, one guy.
Yeah, give it to him.
Yeah, but
Um,
friggin', I feel like main event of Triple Mania is going to be Dom versus Grande 2 for the Mega Championship.
yeah, that'll be exciting. Put him in more stuff. He's proven that he can get the crowd going. I mean, obviously, this was like you know, it's like everyone's excited for a grudge match. Like
Yeah.
you can go a lot of places with it. So I'm hoping that they keep the interest going. They keep the build going. Keep
I
it hot.
always thought Chad Gable should have been the one to end Gunther's IC title run.
Yeah, he's got the years, he's got the experience. Like, he's proven
Because he's
himself.
only been, he was speed champion as
Yeah,
Grande, and
yeah.
then he held the tag belts twice.
Yes, yeah. With Alpha.
Once with Otis, and then once with. Oh no, he held the world tag titles once with Otis as the Alpha Academy, and then once with Robert Roode, and then or Bobby Roode, whatever they called him in WWE. And then
Yeah,
he was SmackDown Tag Team Champion and NXT Tag Team Champion with Jason Jordan as American Alpha.
gotcha.
Not that I remember that. I did the fucking like push up my glasses like guy in anime so they glint like thing, and I was like, I'm alone in my living room. So who did I do that for? There's no camera. This is purely an audio medium for context. But yeah, like they put a banger out of a night one, and then the advertised 2 matches for night 2 are a fatal 5-way, and then a
Ooh,
6-woman tag match.
that's impressive.
I think that's it for night 2. Like that's not gonna be. It'll be fun, but
Yeah,
it won't be this.
yeah. Nothing could be this.
I feel like it should have been flip flopped,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like La Catalina, the new woman from CMLL who just showed up. Her, Lola Vice, and Bailey versus Los Toxicas, and then it's Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, Mini Vikingo, Lince Dorado, and Octagon, I think it
Okay.
is, in a fatal 5-way. And I did a guest spot on Rick's podcast this week,
Oh, fun.
and I promoted our show, and Rick would like to have us on as a unit at some point.
Go. Let's go.
But we were talking about it, and I believe Octagon gets a referee's like X sign during the match.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's so
so
good.
well, I think it was just pre-taped. Like if you were there live for night 1, it got taped during that. Someone on Twitter had
Gotcha.
mentioned it. But yeah, that was Double or Nothing was really good. This was really good. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're just gonna rapid fire through one of the most boring things I've ever watched, and that is, of course,
Clash.
WWE's Clash in Italy. The opening
Yeah.
match, Cody versus Gunther.
Mhm.
Cody retained. Oh boy.
Yippee.
Night 2 was Rhea versus Jade Cargill in a WrestleMania rematch. Rhea Ripley retained. Oh boy.
I saw some people saying that they enjoyed Jade's wrestling in this. Like, it was maybe a little
This
better.
was one of her better showings.
Yeah.
B-Fab messed up putting Jade Cargill's foot on the rope to break the count, so the match almost ended like early.
Yikes.
So Jade Cargill got help from B-Fab and Michin, and Rhea got help from Charlotte Flair in this match.
Gotcha.
They were showing celebrities in the crowd. It was all Italian people, so then they had to elaborate who these people were. And then they cut at one point to a member of the crowd who is, in terms of WWE, one of the greatest Italian exports or imports we have ever seen.
Oh.
And that is the director of authority for TNA Impact, one Mr. Santino Marella. Dude,
Hell
they
yeah.
showed him in the crowd, and he got like mobbed by fans. Like everyone was freaking out.
That's
He was
crazy.
wearing a jersey for the soccer team that was in like that part. I think it was Turin, Italy.
Yes.
Turin. It was like their team and whatever. I sent a picture of Santino to my dad, and he was like, "The greatest intercontinental champion of all time, the
Yeah,
Hunkameter,
bada bing, bada
baby."
boom.
My dad loved Santino when he was on regularly, and I was like, he wrestled last Thursday on TNA, so now I got to give my dad my TNA Plus account so he can watch it. He wrestled his son-in-law, Stax.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on this week's episode, it's going to be Santino Marella and Indy Hartwell versus Stax and Ariana Grace, Santino's daughter.
Oh.
But then after Rhea and Jade, it went to. Did you hear that car honk outside just then?
Yeah, it sounded like a little toot in the background.
Oh yeah, that's just my neighbor.
Yeah.
Honking his horn, whatever. After Jade and Rhea, it was definitely one of the advertised matches.
Rock versus Oba?
Brock versus Oba. Yes, you are correct. So the first two matches were free on regular ESPN, and this is what kicked off the final three matches on the $30 ESPN app.
Which is
The
such an insane
fuck ass ESPN.
match. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar won.
Dumb. He shouldn't
Now
have
it's 1-1
He should have stayed
to
retired. I'm pissed. I hate
probably
it.
lead to Lesnar versus Oba in Minnesota at SummerSlam, with Oba Fime hopefully winning in what will be Brock Lesnar's true retirement match. Because this year's SummerSlam is from Minneapolis, at the home of the Vikings, the team Lesnar used to play for.
Yep.
This match was bad. I don't like it. Lesnar hit 7 F5s, and that was really the whole match.
Yeah.
There were people online that were like, oh, Brock Lesnar just outperformed the entire AEW roster. No, fuck you.
No.
There's wrestling fans, which I would categorize you, myself, Josh, like-minded individuals who enjoy the sport. We don't enjoy one company more than another. We will watch whatever is wrestling, and we like it.
Yeah.
There is a distinct difference between a wrestling fan and a WWE fan. If you thought Lesnar and Oba Fime was one of the matches of the year, if you enjoyed Clash in Italy, you are not a wrestling fan, you're a WWE fan, and I will die on that hill. This show was bad. This was a house show that they put on a $30 streaming app that had advertisements on the tables, commercials, everything. This show sucked.
Which is ironic because they're starting to do house shows again.
Which is crazy. They're gonna suck and be hundreds of dollars to go to. It cost me $84 for tickets to Double or Nothing for 2 tickets.
Yeah, dude.
You can't even walk by Seth Rollins. You have to pay to get into the room he's in, and then you don't even get to do anything. You're just in the room with him. So fucking after that match, the next one was Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch. Sol Ruca won the women's IC title off of Becky Lynch. That was cool. That I liked seeing. I don't think I looked up for a second during this match until I heard the bell ring and I went, oh shit, Sol Ruca is IC champ.
Oh shit. Oh, right.
I opened my phone at the tail end of Gunther and Cody, and I did not put it down until Jacob Fatu entered for Tribal Combat against Roman Reigns. This match wasn't the best.
Yeah.
There was no interference. There were no surprises. They could have just called this an Extreme Rules. The amount they were talking about Umaga on the pre-show and on commentary during this match made me think, for fuck's sake, maybe Zilla Fatu will show up. Nope. No, he did not. No surprises. No interference by the Usos. Nothing. Only thing we got was after Roman retained, Solo, Tamatonga, and Talatonga were at ringside staring him down. They were sitting in the front row. It's like, are we fucking getting Solo versus Roman next? So let me tell you. I'm going to get really close to the microphone and say this part.
Oh, yeah, do it.
That's fucking stupid, and I don't want to see it. That's really that's stupid. That's a really bad match. I don't want that to happen.
Dude, I can hear you closer to the mic.
Do a cooler one. Pick a better guy. Do different ones. Do a better thing. Thank you. Which that was a Clash in Italy in a nutshell. Please take note of how we did not talk or elaborate on anything because it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And here's maybe the worst thing of all. They announced the brackets for the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments. The winner of each respective tournament gets a title match at SummerSlam. The Queen gets a women's title match. The King gets a men's title match. Easy as that. If your prize is a title match at SummerSlam, why is Liv Morgan in the Queen of the Ring?
Yeah, why do you have the world champion there?
She's in the opening round. She's in the first Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
Unless she's going to challenge Rhea and become Liv All Belt.
Hey.
I don't get it. It feels booked by AI because it is. So Obafime, because the tournament kicked off on this week's Raw, which was also live from Italy, which meant it was on at 2:00 our time.
Yes.
It sucked. Raw sucked. 4 matches. That was the whole show.
Yeah.
The opener for the men's, for the King of the Ring was like Obafime, Penta, Solo, and Carmelo. I think.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of people were saying Solo Sikoa will win King of the Ring.
No, I thought Oba was in it. Or did you already
say? I said
say
Oba. Did I not?
I'm sorry.
It was Oba, Solo, Penta, and Carmelo.
Yes. That sounds right.
So logic would dictate, if you're going to do a third match, Lesnar and Oba should not have won this match to get closer to a title shot at SummerSlam. If you're going to do Lesnar versus Oba at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar should have interfered and eliminated Obafime for the tournament. Obafime won the match and moved on.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, Solo Sikoa should have won this opening match to move on in the tournament, win the King of the Ring, and challenge Roman at SummerSlam. But no, that's not what happened. No. Obafime won. He's in the semifinals. They're doing the finals or just another match in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. So that's cool.
I
think end of the month is Night of Champions in Saudi. That's cool.
Love that.
I'm so excited. Let's just change the subject. I don't want to talk about WWE.
No, I mean we had a really good. I mean, you got to see some really good wrestling.
Yeah, AW has been consistently good.
Yeah,
for a while.
And Mass v Mask was great, and we can't iterate it enough. Literally free to watch. Go out there and watch it.
Go on YouTube. Check out AAA.
Pull her up.
Put on Dynamite Wednesday nights, 8:00. Put on Collision Saturday nights at a time that is on TNT. Get ready for Forbidden Door. We'll probably cover that next. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But
yeah.
Hey, we talked for a good while, bud.
Hell yeah. This is
over an hour because there was so much cool stuff to talk about, and Clash in Italy.
Yeah, and we love talking about cool stuff.
Hey, I think one of my gripes with King of the Ring, not enough Danhausen.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that?
Do you see he's building a Gigahausen?
I can't wait to see where that leads.
People think it's a returning Baron Corbin.
Oh.
That's so stupid. With all the releases you just fucking did, you're bringing back Baron Corbin?
To see where it leads.
And they're also bringing back Enzo and Cass, I heard.
Oh, interesting.
That's dumb. Anyway, I had 2 White Claws while we were recording. That's why I sound like that.
They're kicking in.
They're kicking in. Oh, I have Dynamite on in the background. Mercedes Moné was the wild card in the women's Owen.
Ooh, to the surprise of no one.
And she won.
Of everyone.
She moved on, even though she won last year's.
Moving on.
Going up, up, up. Something, I'm golden.
You got it, man. You got it.
Anyway, well, Soda Pop is my favorite song from that movie. I love those damn Saja boys. That was good. Did you do that with your mouth?
I did.
That was crazy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Only I could make money off of it.
Right? Dude, we should just quit our fuck-ass jobs and podcast full-time. Just kidding. We don't make any money. We do this for the love of the game. Someday.
You know, dude. You know it.
Yeah. Jobs suck. They should be illegal. That's my PSA. Anyway, thanks for watching. Join us next time.
We got lots more cool stuff to talk about.
Wrestling happens almost daily.
Yes.
Actually, it does happen daily.
There's a lot of it to watch and a lot of it to enjoy.
Yeah, I have some things to talk about to you off recording. So thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you on the next episode. We appreciate your support. Give us a follow over on YouTube. at the STJ Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe, watch the video when it comes out, share with your friends. We're on YouTube.
Thank you.
Check it out. Bye.
Bye.